Gonna sue a lot of people, but not everybody, and it's not a perfect chair, but it ain't bad. I said, internet. And the internet said,
what is it, Al?
And I said, well, I'm looking for an office chair. And the internet said, well, the Herman Miller Embody, the Herman Miller Aeron, the Steel Leap Case version 2. Of course, I tried them all. The first thing I found out why am I looking for an office chair? Well, back issues, lower back issues, tailbone issues.
Ouch!
Years of sitting in an IKEA chair, you realise, as you get a bit older, that's not such a good idea. So yes, I've had years of sitting in the wrong type of office chair. And you get away with it when you don't have the issues, and as the issues build up, suddenly there comes a point where you've got to make a move. You've got to make a move. So I made the move to find a decent office chair. What could possibly go wrong? Found out that you might get an office chair in IKEA for 60 quid, $60 or whatever you pay in other countries, of course. When it comes to internet search for an office chair, you're looking at $1,000–2,000 pounds. It's blinking expensive.
Wow!
Well, bit the bullet because it's not easy to go and find. There is a Herman Miller shop in London, but they follow you around and they don't let you do your own thing with the chair, and I don't like all that.
Idiots!
Steel case is different, so these are online chairs. I did try those 3. I did find that they don't tell you in the beginning because when you look at the ads, they look blinking bloody comfortable. Every time someone, when I was looking, doing a review, they sat on it for the first time and, wow, it's absolutely marvellous. And then I found out when you sit on it, it's, oh, that's very, very firm in it. And sometimes that's not a good thing.
Oh.
So, yeah, I found out that apparently, yeah, we don't expect it to be that comfortable day one, but in 2 years' time, sitting in the right ergonomic position, you're going to end up with a good back and you're going to say, thank you, world. But of course, with a 30-day return or whatever the company policy is, that's not a good idea to wait 2 years to find out if it works or not, if it's not that comfortable. Currently, I have ended up with the Embody. But I carried on my searches because I was still looking for that holy grail that it's both comfortable and you feel it's supporting your back in the right way. So, the one that's going everywhere, obviously, there's only about 4 channels on YouTube that have not been offered until now, the Libernovo ergonomic, well, they call it the world's first dynamic ergonomic office chair. So yeah, has been heavily marketed. But so I figured, well, it seems to be well liked. They say it's comfortable. And hey, I want one that's comfortable and ergonomic. I haven't found one yet. Or have I? We're going to find out. So I emailed Libernovo. I said, I've done some office chairs to now. I'm not saying I'm an expert in office chairs. I'm clearly not. But if you'd like to send me one, I'd love to review it. Because I was about one of the only ones left on YouTube. I didn't say that in the email, but maybe I should have. Anyway, they never replied, but what they did do was put me straight on their email list, which of course they're not supposed to do. I didn't ask them to do it, but hey, I'm now on their marketing list. And then forgot about it.
Forget about it.
Humming and hawing, do I want to spend that money on that chair? And by the way, at that point, the Libernovo had one, if you didn't know, the big deal was it's like a 7 million startup, was it Kickstarter? Apparently it's the biggest supported campaign ever for office chairs. Randomly, the company doing appears like their PR company, so would you like to try the Libernovo? So they come out with, since then, loads of different models. This is the Libernovo Omni Pro. They said, would you like to try one? I said, yes. I don't do sponsored videos as such. Of course, they've sent me this for review, and so I'm going to label it as sponsored, but that just means you've got a free product. 90% of channels on YouTube get a free product. They are meant to, it says in the terms of YouTube, if you get the free product, you must label it as sponsored, paid sponsored, even though you're not paid. 90% don't, but I will do that because I am the anti-shill.
I am the anti-shill.
So they said, we'll send it to you. I was waiting for the catch. There was no catch. They sent it to me without, all they said was, would you do a video of it? Of course, yes, I will do a blinking bloody video. If you send it to me, and that's all you want, an honest review, I will do it. So I thought, that's a shocker, because I thought, as a chair this heavily marketed, there must be some tight control, but there wasn't. I did the assembly. It was a bit more palaver than I was expecting. I found out why most people who do the assembly on this chair, they do it on a time lapse, so they speed it up. When it took me about 40 minutes. It's not the most complicated thing in the world, but it is a little bit awkward. And that's my issue, is that if you've literally got back issues already, and that's why you're buying this chair, I'm not sure how you're going to assemble it. You have to get someone to assemble it. And there is one of the first differences between the Herman Miller and Steel case, which are top tier, blinking bloody expensive chairs. They come fully assembled.
Nice.
And I realized why that's something you're paying for. It's put together. You know what you're going to get. That was different for this chair. One of the reasons they can do it a bit cheaper, it's still expensive, but it is a bit cheaper, it's flat packed basically, and you put it together. So the headlines are, you've now got the Omni Pro, this one, you've got the original Omni, and you've got the Omni Special Edition, and there is a Maxis version for people who are really, really big, and apparently I'm just on the edge, I'm not quite big enough. So they will spec it to your weight. You need to look at what the maximum weights are. I've got them written down somewhere. Have I got them written down here? Yeah, for the Omni, maximum weight of 136 kilo. It's going to take in a lot of people in it, but the height, maximum height, 6'1". I would imagine a lot of people over that, and so you'll be going for the Maxis or Maxi, whatever they pronounce it. The big thing about this when it came out was it basically is electric. You don't have to plug it into the socket, but it does come with a removable battery. They took, and the Pro has a bigger spec battery than on the other two models. Well, the SC has no electronics at all. The original one has a 2,000 milliamp hour battery, and this has a 3,000 milliamp battery. But by the way, of course, that tells you nothing. You need to know the voltages, as always. Tell you, I don't know why everybody just does milliamp hours. It was about 40 watt hours, which is actually very, very good. But the thing is, so you got the upgraded electronics there, and the big deal about the original was that you can adjust they call lumbar support. We'll get onto that. You can adjust the lumbar support electrically, and also it will massage your back, and we'll get onto that. This is a 5-year warranty, 5 years on the frame, the chair itself, but on the electronics, it's 2 years. The special edition has no electronics. The lumbar support will be a manual adjustment, and therefore the whole thing is 5 years. But I guess we need to be talking about this particular chair. But how can you talk about the Pro if I don't tell you the differences between the others? One of the big differences is this comes with what they say is premium fabric, which is Danish Gabrielle Atlantic fabric. So the thing about that is only on, as far as I can see, on that fabric, you get the OEcoTex rating. Well, anything that is made originally from petrochemicals, as in the fabric itself, they give you a rating to let you know it's got low emissions, volatile organic compounds. A lot of these things give off, and so it's good. It's OEcoTex rated on the fabric. I don't think that's the same on the other ones. Just so know that's something for Maxis, obviously, I think we'll have that as well, but not on the SE, and the normal version of this won't have fabric that's rated OEcoTex at all. But there's no rating on the foam in this chair. On the bigger Maxis, the depth of the seat will be 53 centimeters. This particular one is 48 centimeters, but you can have it at 45 centimeters. That will be an option when you're buying it. Just know they say you need to be putting, it should be about 3 fingers, 3 fingers between the end of the chair and that. So I already knew I could have done with slightly larger. I cut to the chase. I think I need a larger chair. There's things about this. Well, I'm sitting here and it's very comfortable. That's a major difference between all the others that I tried, the Embody, the Aeron, and the Steelcase Leap version 2. I do think it's comfortable. Cutting to one of the chases, it is comfortable. A lot of people will be happy with this chair, I'm pleased to say, because if I didn't think that, I would have told you. On the original, they had 4 recline positions. The recline is this switch, whatever you want to call it. So it will lock into the first recline position, which is 105 degrees. What I'm saying is the original one only had 4. This has got 5, which means the next recline is 115, whereas it was 120, which seemed to be universally, they used to say it was too far for the second recline position. And then it's got 125, and then it's got 135, and it's getting dangerous. Or was it 160? I think I might have missed one. Yeah, that was actually 160, but you can already see you can go all the way back, and basically you can almost sleep in it. Well, you can sleep in it because they also upsell their stool. I'm saying upsell, but it is a good idea ergonomically to be able to get your feet up like that a little bit. But it certainly is a match if you're going to do the full recline. I don't know why you do that, unless you can have something there. But hey, you can do that. You can see I am actually flat, and that is something. Yeah, that is something different on this particular chair. You adjust the firmness of the recline with this lever. This is one of my first. This is a bit silly in it moments, because to get to the lever that you have to twist to make it firmer. Was that looser? No, that's that's the maximum firmness all the way up there, and there's a lot of adjustment. If you've got arthritic hands, you may not be a big fan of. So that's loose. This must be firm. It's got a thing minus or plus on it. No, that's loose. Yeah, that's the loosest. But the problem is you're hitting the armrest. That's actually really awkward. That's a weird design choice for me. And I mean, if it was longer, it would come. You wouldn't be doing that, but you can't get your hand exactly there. I find that a bit awkward. Would be nice if that was electronically adjusted as well. So go the firmest it can be. Look how many twists I'm having to do. It's way too much work. So actually, yeah, I thought it did. Yeah, yes. Now it's getting to. That's the end. Now it's completely locked almost. That's very, very firm. But yes, it's nice you've got an incredible range of adjustments you can do. But I need to give my hand a rest. That's way too many turns for me. The other problem is, because we're talking about, you're paying big money. This is about 900 quid after discount. Of course, you never pay full price for any of these chairs, including Herman Miller. They always have a 30% off. But to have a 30% off, it means they've got to charge you full price at some point. So always make sure you're hitting the discount. But one thing Herman Miller you won't do is this. That literally does not fix into place. That kind of reveals that it's not totally premium. So yes, I haven't done anything wrong. I did check. That does not fit. Does not. I mean, it's not like you're really going to pull it out. But you'd think in the design, $7 million for the Kickstarter campaign, they would have worked out a way that it would click into position, and you can't pull it out by mistake. I thought I'd made a mistake when I first put that in. I thought, well, that can't be right. But hey, that is just a little slot on the end. It does not crank into position at all. That bit is always loose. So that's the recline lock, a flippy thing. That's how firm you want the recline to be. And this one is the height adjustment. So that's does that like that, and it can go. That's the highest position like that. And then we come to my biggest issue of the lot, which for me was the deal breaker, is the armrests. That can't be right. When I'm looking on videos online as well, everybody's saying how loose they were. Apparently it's not as loose as the original. I can only imagine how loose they were. $7 million startup campaign. Why would you think that was a good Well, they must have thought that was a good idea. They know people are talking about it. They've not decided to fix that, apparently fix it slightly. But for me, I cannot lock that into position, and I can't be doing that all day long. That wasn't the case on the others that I tried, the steel case Leap, and the two Holman Millers. The other thing is you can't push this all the way out. Apparently the height adjustment is better now than it was. And yes, for me, that's fine in terms of the height. You can maneuver them all the way, but you can maneuver it in more than you can maneuver it out. What's that all about? Why would you want to be trapped in? But I would like to have them go all the way out. They do move a bit, but not out. Again, they come in like that, but that's as far out as they go. So you cannot move these out of the way, like I can do even on cheap chairs. I don't understand that as a design thing. You can't move it out of the way. Hey, it's really comfortable. I'm not denying. But when I say it's really comfortable, I am on the upper end of what they're saying is the size for this chair. Although they say 136 kilo, I'm 87 kilo. But I'm 6 foot and they say it's maximum 6'1". But what I'm saying is I am bottoming out, and I'm not being funny, on the chair in the wrong, because I'm someone with tailbone pain to start with, which is why I'm looking to pay what I didn't realize, the crazy money, big money. But of course, if you're fixing serious issues that can affect you, like lower back pain and tailbone pain, it's worth it, because these chairs are meant to last a long time. At least the frame itself is a 5-year warranty. But yes, that's a major issue, because that's one of the reasons why I'm looking for a chair to sort that out. And that is literally going to come down to density. Now, they don't tell you the density of the foam. They say it's multi-density foam. But the density of the foam is everything, especially in terms of longevity. If they're going to give loads of options for different things, it would be nice to have an option for fine-tuning the density of the foam that you want on the actual thing that you are going to be sitting on for all that time. I am surprised that one of the big deals about this chair is it's very well padded. Yes, it's very comfortable, but I just get to the back of it, and it's in the wrong place. It's right where my tailbone is going. So, by the way, I can feel it give out a bit more there, but I'm not putting pressure there. And do you know why? It's got a fan. So one of the things about the Pro version is it's ventilated. It's got a fan. So you can't just have a fan go through multi-layers of density foam. Now, I don't know if anyone has done a breakdown of the padding. On the pictures that they have of this chair, they literally have it looking as though it's just firing up through the foam. But how thick can the foam be if the fan is actually able to get through? Now, that's controlled electronically. That's one of the big deals about the Pro version. Your controls are on the left armrest. The first control button is for the fan, and it's got 2 fan positions. It's a hot day. I can't really feel that in position 1, but I can definitely feel that. It's going on my legs. So, but it's all the way down my legs and along here. It is actually effective. But this is the thing, how is it being that effective? But you'd also want to have nice thick foam. They call it a centrifugal fan. They talk about it having an airflow chamber, but that just looks like a layer of thin mesh. So it looks like it's got thin mesh on the bottom, thin mesh on the top. They call it 3D support mesh, but you still got your foam, perforated foam as they call it. So I guess it's got air pockets. I suppose it's designed, they're calling it perforated foam. I guess it's designed to allow for the airflow, but that surely means, I don't know, I'm saying that surely means there's going to be lower density. Over time, I don't know. So anyway, on the chair itself, it's a 5-year warranty. You'd hope it will hold up quite a bit, but foam by its nature is going to give over time anyway. As someone who did a lot of mattress stuff, I'm fixating on the foam because that's what the mattresses are all about, the foam. By the way, this is pressure sensitive. If I get off, it knows I'm off it. It's turning itself off. And if I sit back on, it's turning itself back on. But of course I can turn it off. But hey, you can't actually feel it blowing if I do that. But I can certainly feel it on me tush. Turn that off. The next button down is the so-called, looks like they can't make up their minds whether they're going to call it a massage function or decompression or something else. It isn't really a massage. I'll show you what it does. If I press it, you see the piston coming out and pushing up and down. You're supposed to be actually lying flat when you do this, which I can do. If I turn it off, it'll go back to position. If I recline all the way back, just turn it off there. Recline all the way back down like that. And then do that. But it worries me because if you're buying this chair for back issues, it's not like it's multi-point on your back, trigger points, and giving a proper massage, it's getting into the muscles. It's just that one area, and you want to be careful with your back. So it worries me. That's pressure's coming back on. No, I couldn't do that. So I worry about what that is actually doing to the back. It's obviously not finely controlled. Some people seem to like it. Some people just say, oh, it's a bit of a novelty. But it seems to be one of the heavily marketed features as a reason to buy the chair. Hey, the function is there if you want it. For me personally, I'd like to see some of the research or whatever they've done that this actually is ergonomic. This is actually safe for the back, to be fair, which I haven't seen. They just call it massage. It's not really a massage in any way, but now they're calling it compression, decompression, which is supposed to be good. Hanging from lift-up bars, it's supposed to be good for your back as it pulls the vertebrae apart. This, I'm letting you know it's there. I'll let you know it's certainly, you can feel a lot going on, but it worries me because it's clearly not a medical massage in any way. It doesn't know the state of your back, and you don't really want to be messing about with your back. And then we come to the lumbar support. So you can see it's M-body-like in how that back support works with your back. No matter which way I go, it's going to move. It's great. It's very much like the one on the M-body, except the M-body has no foam covering it. When I sit on my M-body, which has been my office chair, I have it covered with foam. I have extra foam on the seat, and I have extra foam on the back, which I don't need on this one because it's already got the foam. So they're designed to be with the foam. I don't know how people sit on the M-body without foam. To be honest, but it depends on what issues you've got. I'm quite sensitive to the pressure on the back, and that's the issue. So we can adjust the so-called lumbar support with these two buttons. The first button feels like the lumbar support is going all the way up my back, but you can see how the S shape of the rear support changes, and then I go the other way, and it feels like the lumbar support is going down my back. What it doesn't feel like is there's a lumbar support exactly where I want it, and then I can adjust like on the M-body, the actual firmness of the lumbar support itself. So that's disappointing to me. It's not really a lumbar support. I can't. It's just placing lower or higher the pressure point on the back. So if I get it right for me, so I don't want it actually right in my back. I have to have it slightly higher. Come down. But it's not like it's finding the curve in your back, sitting there nicely, and then you can fine adjust the firmness, more support or less support in that exact place. It's literally changing the position up and down your back of where you're feeling the main protrusion and what they're calling support. So you can get it quite into a nice position, but I don't know, why is it like that? Why does it come up at an angle? Why couldn't it be more of a back or forward? Or along with that, why couldn't there be a backwards and forward adjustment so I could get the lumbar feel in the right place and then adjust the pressure? So that's something to note on this chair. Get back. I would imagine that is more awkward on the FC where you're doing that manually. Anyway, so yeah, that's a reasonably decent position, but it's not a true lumbar support adjustment, is all I'm saying. So those are the adjustments you get on the armrests themselves. Have I forgotten anything else? Talked about, this is 48 centimeters, and that's also a bit short for me. 45 centimeters would have been even worse. I could do, so I can get my whole hand in. It's just a bit short for me. They say it was very soft on the original Omni, but that's much firmer. So yeah, there's firmness right to the end. That's fine. My main issue about the sitting down is I am bottoming out. I am feeling pressure on my buttocks. If you are on the lighter side, you will feel that less than me. But they say this goes up to, was it pounds or wait, up to people for up to 136 kilo. And if you are significantly heavier than me, you're going to bottom out even more. You're going to feel that pressure on your buttocks and your tailbone area even more. It would be nice even to have a true coccyx cutout for that lumbar region. Make it a true coccyx friendly chair. But it's comfortable, but there are issues. The other thing about as I sit here is it's very huggy. Completely different to the Embody, which is quite spacious, because one of the issues is the seat curves up. So you're not really you're gonna, if your feet are there, you're gonna have more pressure on them. So the actual space that you are sitting in is down to that much because of the curve where it's flat on the Embody, and it looks like it's flatter on the Maxis. So I think the Maxis would have suited me more. But so the chair is quite huggy to me. There's pressure on my lumbar on my coccyx area because I'm bottoming out, and it's pushing up on the sides of my legs because it's curved at the ends. These things are going all over the place, and the back is quite like that as well. You can see it curves in. It's quite small, but it's very huggy to the back. The Embody does that as well, but it's very huggy. So, but the whole nature of this chair is to hug you. Because I have sensitive pressure points, that's not good for me. I don't want to be hugged like that. I'd like it more of an armchair sort of feel. Get into position I want. You can see how it moves with you. So it is comfortable. I can't deny it's way more comfortable than the other three very expensive office chairs I've sat on. I can imagine the majority of people would be very happy with this chair. It's going to come down to how much you think you should be paying for these things. But for me, it's not really worked for the issues I said. Too huggy. I couldn't live with that. But that was the deal breaker for me when I've been trying it over this period of time that I've been since the unboxing. The other stuff you can adjust to over time. But yeah, if I'm having a bad back day, there's too much pressure on my back, and because again, the Max is wider altogether. The pressure is spread over a larger area. But this is curved, again, just like the seat is, and it's on a small area of the back. It's just too much for me, but comfortable in the way that the other office chairs I've tried are not, and that's why a lot of people will be happy with it. What else was I going to say? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, the headrest. Headrest is very nice. On the Herman Millers, you have to, well, I think on my Embody, you have to, it's 200 quid extra to buy a third party. It doesn't even come with a headrest. This comes included with a headrest. So you can easily raise. I thought there was a screw to tighten it, but there isn't. So actually I should be able to do that sitting down, no problem. Yeah, it was just that it was already at its maximum height. And even there you can see another reason why I'm at the higher end of who this chair is going to suit, because it's not even to the top of my head. So I maybe have wanted that like slightly higher. The adjustment isn't there, but there's loads of adjustment in terms of the depth. And apparently that's another improvement over the older one. But so 200 quid basically, remember that's included in the price. The actual spec of the armrest is 16 millimeters up and minus 20 millimeters relative to what I don't know, but minus 20, the lowest position. So I guess it means it's 36 millimeters. No, I can't be right. Yeah, but basically 4 centimeters of, no, it looks like more than 4 centimeters. It's weird actually the way they've written it. Plus 16 millimeters, minus 20 millimeters range. They said the lumbar pivot angle moves backwards for reduced pelvic. It doesn't. It's not something that you fine tune into your actual lumbar region, which is what a lumbar support is all about. It moves upward because it changes. It's literally what it's doing is changing the S shape of the back. It's not really adjusting finely a particular area, as I said. It's just changing the whole shape of the back. Yeah, I mean, that's really painful. Just got to get the pressure point in the right place, but you can't fine tune it. So to me, it's not really lumbar support. The cushion, thickened foam with anti-slip. Yeah, so it is memory foam, but no clues to the densities or anything. And obviously it's having to be spec'd, aerated or whatever, to allow the fan, which is there to cool down your posterior region. The Maxis is spec'd at 5'10" to 6'7" and up to 400 pounds. What was that? About 200 kilos, 52 centimeters. There's 4 centimeters extra depth. You know, I mean, it would be just on the limits. So it's wider on the shoulder, but I've seen the pictures. It's bigger everywhere. I'm sure that would have suited me more. I'd like to be able to fix it. So when I'm working or when I'm at my desk, that's too far forward. I like to be around there, but I can't lock it to that position. It would be nice to be able to lock it to the exact position that you're reclining to, or the exact maximum you want. So if I flip the locking mechanism, which is there, that's not enough, and that's it's just slightly too far. I'd like to be about there. I just found this not to work quite as well as on the Embody to actually hold yourself in the right position. It would be nice, wouldn't it, to have a chair where you find the actual position you want to be and you can lock it into that exact position. Otherwise, you're just working all the time backwards and forwards to get yourself in the position is what I found. So one of the things, just I've already shown you that, one of the things they say is a feature is when you recline, the seat reclines with you. Oh, by the way, another thing, I'd like that to be reclined forward a bit more. I'd like to be in a bit more of a tilt position. Remember, it's about ergonomic and you want your hips higher than your knees. You want to be at a right angle and all that, but that's slightly high. I would have liked to just adjust the tilt angle, but what they're saying is, as you go back, if we put it down, as you go back, it's maintaining the right position. So the actual seat itself, you can see it comes up a little bit, but to maintain the right angle, apparently, at all times. The massage is a 5-minute. See, there you go. It's they call it massage, but then they say a 5-minute spinal decompression cycle. Is that massage? I've never gone in to a massage place and asked for a decompression cycle, to be fair, but I may ask for a full body relaxing massage, and a proper massage I'm talking about. 32.4 watt hours for the battery, which is pretty decent. The fabric that they're actually using on the premium versions of the chair, the Danish Gabrielle Atlantic fabric, is rated for 100,000 to 120,000 rubs. I'm not making that up, and that's very good, believe me. It's a high-performance circular knit and mono material fabric made of 100%, there you go, 100% recyclable polyester. So it's still petrochemicals, but it is OEcoTex rated, and it's important when you're, if you're sensitive to these sort of things, that is important when you're buying petrochemical products. That's why it would be nice. I know it's covered with the fabric, but the foam itself, it would be nice to know they're using premium foam. As you say, it's a multi-density cushion, but you do bottom out. It would, I think, foam, slightly more foam and or slightly higher density. But then you're going to have problems with the fan. Maybe you have another option then, not to have the fan, and to have a high density foam. They say the battery lasts up to 30 days of daily use, or a year with minimal adjustments. Of course, that's going to be completely personal how long that actually works out. It's apparently a higher grade. The base is what they call it high grade aluminium alloy base, whereas the lower scale models, the original, the SC versions, is glass fiber. So a more heavy duty base on the Pro version. Color options, you've got graphite or a glacier, which I guess is white, which interestingly, I guess it's because it's different material, is different depending on what version it is the same on the original Omni, but the cheaper one is obsidian. What color is obsidian? I got no idea. The next support they call hydrophilic sponge memory foam. And I was looking on this, they've got the certifications for the spec on the website. Unfortunately, it doesn't mention even there, it doesn't even mention Eco-Tex for some reason, and certainly doesn't mention Certipure, which is what I would have liked to have seen for the foam. So that was basically it. Looking at the Maxxis, it looks like it's something that probably would have suited me a little bit more. The backrest is bigger, the seat is flatter and bigger. It comes out a little bit more, although the seat is kind of fine. But the deal breaker for me is the arm. By the way, it's about, there is always a price. But if you're going to pay for this, it's basically about 100 quid for the ergonomic stool or whatever they're calling it. But it seems to be bundled if you, so it's something they kind of upsell, but also just use it as promotion. That'll be advertised as 200 quid, but it doesn't look like you never ever need to pay 200 quid. My feeling about this is it's better than I expected. It hasn't worked for me to be the holy grail, or something that I can say, all right, I no longer have to look for an office chair, but certainly the most comfortable. But even as I sit here now, there's too much pressure, even the top of my legs, the bottom of my bottom, not even the coccyx area. There's too much pressure. A little bit more foam I would have liked, or a bit more density, or a bit of both. But it is comfortable. I can see how the majority of people trying this chair will like it. I don't know about the longevity. It's worrying. They say 2 years for the electronics, but 5 years for the chair. What do they know that we don't know? They can upsell you the battery, but the battery's been fine for me. As I showed you that right in the beginning. One issue is it's going to come flat packed. I think these premiums come already assembled for a reason. But it's cheaper, but it's not cheaper. It's not a cheapo chair. 900 quid, I think, after discount. Some of the Home Millers are selling it in 2 grand or more. I think I paid 1,500 for the Embody. It was all 1,200 on a deal. But it's kind of like a buy and forget kind of chair. I can see how a lot of people will be happy, but there are little niggles, and that's a deal breaker for me. So, yeah, that's it. I've basically giving you my opinion. It's not going to be right for everybody. It's not the holy grail for me. But hey, it's not uncomfortable sitting on. But I'm aware of the pressure on my buttocks. That's been it. I did do the unboxing and assembly, and it's not speeded up into a 1 minute video like the others, and there's a reason for that. It was a little bit awkward, which convinced me there's a reason why some of these come already assembled. It would be nice to have an assembled option, but I guess it's all about the costs, isn't it? So they're looking to do it a bit cheaper, but while making money at the same time. They are heavily marketing it, and that costs money. That's all part of the budget. Yeah, the Libernovo Omni Pro office chair. Going to suit a lot of people, but not everybody. And it's not a perfect chair, but it ain't bad. It's better than I was expecting. But it comes down to 900. Yeah, I've not tried millions of chairs to say if 900 quid is where it should be at, but it seems reasonable against the others that I've tried. But we don't know about longevity at this point. It's a newish, couple of years old company. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again.
What the f was that? Ah!
It comes from China.
My speaker's got deep bass, balanced mids, and a bright high.
Yes, mine sounds exactly the same.